What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 7 of the Go There podcast. I'm your host, Bethany Michelle, and thank you for being here. Today is Friday, February 20th, 2026, and by the time this episode is aired, it's going to be Saturday, February 21st. Episode 7 is all about my first ever brand trip and how it all went wrong. So if you're interested in hearing on what happened at the Daytona 500 this weekend, a lot of people who follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat all know how I was denied entry, the ticket confusion, spending money out of pocket, and how the brand actually, who sent me on the brand trip, actually made it right. So, it's actually it was a good learning experience. Like, it's a very unfortunate story with a happy ending, should I say. So, without further ado, let's get into it. I'm not going to make this episode too long. I just have a lot going on this week, a lot going on today. I'm filming this episode right now. It's 6 p.m. and I still need to edit and do everything for it. So I'm not going to waste too much of mine or you guys' time. Last week's episode, if you guys haven't watched it, you might want to go back. It's so funny to me now. I actually want to go back and watch it. I was so excited to get invited. My first ever brand trip was the Daytona 500 with Hard Rock Bet. Shout out to them. And they invited me all 4 days as an influencer. I was super excited when I got the invite. Like, so excited, in fact, that I knew I needed to go buy a bunch of new clothes because your girl gained a little weight and nothing fits anymore. So I went Friday night, the night before I was going, which was Saturday. And I went to Ross. I bought 2 pairs of pants, 3 shirts, and a jean jacket. I was feeling so confident, girl. So confident. I finally found a pair of jeans that fit me great. They were low rise, they were acid wash, and they matched the jacket that I bought perfectly. So I was basically going to wear these jeans on Saturday, and I bought these red, like, cargo style pants that I was going to wear on Sunday. So when I got home, I washed them, and unfortunately, I washed everything together. Valuable lesson learned. I washed everything together, and I turned my pants absolutely pink, girl. Thankfully, it was Valentine's Day. I should have just kept them pink, but you know me, I'm a certified crash out. All I need, really, to crash out is an excuse, and that gave me one. So I started freaking out. None of the Walmarts near me had the color dye, the dye remover, or there's something else. None of them had it. So I had to go run to a Walmart across Jacksonville at 6 a.m. on the morning that I was going to the Daytona 500. The whole spiel of everything is on TikTok. One of my close friends and I went together. I invited her with me on Saturday, and we absolutely had a blast. And we went down to the Hard Rock Bet fan zone, which was infield. You take like a tram infield. It was absolutely insane. I FaceTimed my mom. I had never been to anything like that, much less infield. It felt like true VIP access. There was a bunch of food vendors. There was like a viewing platform with a huge TV. You could actually walk up to the different garages and watch the people working on the vehicles that were in the race. It was absolutely insane. Absolute insanity. And I'm not really a race girly, so I didn't know much about racing, but I feel like that really converted me. Like, the moment I saw the cars and felt the wind and heard the sound, I was like, I get it now. Saturday truly was a dream come true. I can't even lie. It was almost too perfect, if you know what I mean. Saturday was so perfect. Unfortunately, when we got there on Sunday, the parking, the travel, the drama. I mean, it took us about 2.5, 3 hours to get down there. It's supposed to be like an hour and a half drive. That's how bad the traffic was. The parking was insane. I don't even know how to explain this. It was like EDC Orlando. I don't know. It was insane, dude. Absolutely insane. Because apparently Thursday, Friday, and Saturday were all qualifying races for Sunday. So Sunday was sold out. It was the big race day. So we go on Sunday, and I'm so excited. I'm walking them. We go infield, and we scan the tickets, and they're like, those aren't the right tickets. And I was like, what do you mean those aren't the right tickets? And so the lady points to a sign, and it shows the different types of tickets they were selling on the day of the event. And one of them or the ticket that we had actually was a pre-race and fan zone access ticket. However, apparently you needed a ticket to the actual race in addition. So what I learned after standing there for about 30 minutes to an hour was that we basically had upgraded add-on tickets, but not tickets to the actual race. And what happened was, unfortunately, accidentally, somehow, we're all human, okay? So I'm not blaming Hard Rock Bet for this. But unfortunately, what happened was I got sent a Friday ticket instead of Sunday. And I also was just so excited to go that I didn't get any direct contact information. Yikes. Lesson learned. So we stood there for about 45 minutes waiting for an email response from the person who had basically booked me to go. No response. So we were like, okay, so what should we do? So I suggested that we just go back to the car. I did buy like a case of beer on the way down in case we wanted to drink at the event. And I was like, let's just sit around and tailgate. So we stood for, okay, the race started, by the way, at 1:30. We got there right before noon. We stood in that line or on the side of the line, watching everyone get in but us, until 1 p.m. So by the time, naturally, 1:30 rolled around and the race actually started, we could hear the car start up and everything. I got so frustrated. I was like, I want to leave. I'm ready to go. Let's get out of here. Because sitting there was accomplishing nothing. I had sent about 4 emails to all the people that I had email contacts for. Let's just go get some food and then hopefully they'll email you back while we're eating and then we can come back. Good idea, right? So we're getting food. I finally got an email. I think it was around 1:45. And it wasn't a resolution. It was basically saying like, what do you mean you're stuck? So I was like, you know what that means. I was like, I'm not getting in. So I just gave up on the whole thing together. But I started to realize and obviously get really upset when I realized that I had spent, not only was I denied entry after all the ticket confusion, but I had spent so much money out of pocket just to get there, from the gas to the drinks to the food. And I don't even mean alcoholic. I mean just like stopping on the way down there. We got some coffee, which, is it absolutely necessary? No, but if you're going to be in a long day like that, sure. So we got some coffee, we got some food on the way down there, some McDonald's, full tank and a half of gas. I got an oil change. We got some more food while we were down there. And so it was like, the parking was $60. So it was well over $250, about $300 we had spent just getting there and being in Daytona without even doing anything special. In addition to arrival, I was upset, as anyone would be. I was upset about it, so I decided to post about it on TikTok, and everyone was appalled for me, obviously. They were like, what do you mean? Some people were saying how Hard Rock Bet is such a big company that they don't even care. And I was like, okay, well, if they don't care about what they did, then I don't care about talking about it. I was so upset. I never let anyone drive my car because no one's on my insurance. I was so upset that I told my boyfriend to drive home. And I got in the passenger seat and I started drinking the beer. I don't even drink like that. I was just so mad. And so on the drive home, I was just putting on TikTok, a bunch of videos about what happened, talking about it, posting about it. Hoping that Hard Rock Bet would see. I tagged Hard Rock Bet in a few things. And I posted so much from the drive from Daytona back to Jacksonville that by the time I was pulling up in my house, driving in my driveway, I had received a call from a representative of Hard Rock Bet. That's how much I posted. Give me an hour and a half and a few beers, and I'll get anything taken care of, okay? So it was a whole learning experience, and I'm glad that I did get to go Saturday, because without that, I would have been really, really upset. And there were a few contacts from Hard Rock Bet that reached out to me afterwards to make sure everything was okay. I was fully satisfied with the resolution. And Hard Rock Bet actually even sent me like a bonus $100 bet, which I don't even know how to use. So whatever. It was a big learning experience all around. It was a good experience. I'm glad I got to go Saturday. I'm glad I got denied Sunday, because Hard Rock Bet did mention that they will be inviting me to more events moving forward to kind of make up for the miscommunication, mishap, misunderstanding, the whole thing on Sunday. So that's always a good thing to be in with Hard Rock Bet. Definitely learned how to advocate for myself. I learned how to preserve relationships in networking and when in business, even when things are going south and things may seem sour. And I definitely learned, I already knew how to do this, but I turned chaos into content per usual. And I did leave the Daytona 500, and we were able to go and support some local businesses financially with our money and our promotions on social media. And when I did a few food reviews down in Daytona while I was there on Sunday, just to kind of make up for the lost time and everything. That way we didn't just drive back on an empty stomach and without doing anything. So we felt pretty satisfied, and we didn't have to cook dinner. Big learning experience. I don't have any hard feelings towards anybody in that situation, and I actually love Hard Rock Bet for the way they handled it. I'm pretty pleased. It was just nice to know that they didn't just leave me hanging, because that's what I expected. So, and who knows? Maybe my next event, I'll be able to take one of you guys with me, because I was definitely excited about being able to bring friends and plus ones and all that. I just didn't know who to take. So as you guys know, per usual, I'm going to be real, raw, open, and honest with y'all. So thank y'all for listening to my experience on the Daytona 500, how my first brand trip was, and how it all went wrong. It all went south, but at the end of the day, everything happens the way it's supposed to. So thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for listening. Even though it's a short episode this week, I just appreciate you guys for tuning in regardless. I didn't have time to promote my episode last week, and it literally got like 20 views. So I will not be doing that again. I'm definitely going to make sure I take the time to promote the episodes properly. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here. And Mimi says hi. Say hi, everybody. Or say bye, everybody. Peace.